is now a question as to whether or not there is significant sexism within professional tennis, and the whole conversation was brought up recently when a 20-year-old tennis player by the name of Eugenie Bouchard was basically kicking ass in the Australian Open, and then she had a post-game interview with an interviewer who wanted to ask her to twirl around. So let's take a look at the video. Before you take a look at it, though, you should know that prior to this interview, she had tweeted something about Serena Williams and how she liked the outfit she was wearing while she was in a tennis match. With that said, take a look.
Now, last night, you tweeted that you love Serena's outfit. Obviously, the fluoro is working for you girls at the moment. She was kind enough to give us a twirl. Can you give us a twirl and tell us about your outfit?
A twirl? Like...
A twirl, a pirouette. Here we go.
I mean, I have to say, I honestly think Serena's outfit is the best, even better than mine. I'm going to give her that.
I did not read into that it was as awkward as other people had said to me. I think that she was a bit shy because she's in front of a crowd and she's not a public speaker. She's a tennis player. Like, she's comfortable when she's in the game. I think she was perfectly happy there, but he shouldn't have asked it that. And he said, "Give us a twirl. Come on, give it." Like, he pushed her into it.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in a situation like that, you can't really say no.
Because you look bad.
Because you would. I mean, I don't think you'd look bad, but I think people would perceive you as being bitchy or something like that. So you're kind of like put in a difficult situation. But you know, it's funny, I read about it, and the way that people are writing about it is very different from the way I perceived it from watching the video. From the video, it seems like she's shy and uncomfortable, but it doesn't seem like she's like upset or there's like...
Or she feels like it's sexist.
Or that she feels like it's sexist.
Didn't feel like it at all.
Now, she did talk about it. She said the following. It was very unexpected. I don't know, an old guy asking you to twirl. It was funny.
Threw him under the bus.
Yeah.
Jesus. He gets to read that today.
You mentioned the tweet she had earlier. Also, Victoria Azarenka, another significant player. She wrote, "Serena is rocking that outfit, cut out back, sexy." And then at Serena Williams, and then Eugenie Bouchard said, "Love Serena's outfit." It's funny. I mean, she loves Serena's outfit. It's just what strikes me as a totally fair point is that one tweet, 3 words, "Love Serena's outfit."
Yeah.
And that became his question.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. I'm not against reporters asking the stupid questions about what you're wearing, or like I get uncomfortable when female professional athletes are asked about their love lives, right? I mean, male professional athletes are asked about those things too, but usually in a post-game interview with male athletes, they talk about performance. I mean, that takes priority over everything else, and then the other stuff kind of comes later, maybe if they have time. In this case, I mean, this 20-year-old Canadian tennis player is kicking butt, right? In the Australian Open.
Yeah, she did really well last year too.
Yeah, and so and last year she was asked about whether or not she has a crush on Justin Bieber, right? So it's like those types of questions kind of belittle what she just achieved. So if you had first asked her, "Hey, you know, how do you feel about this win?" or whatever question that tennis players get asked, then I would be okay with him saying, "Hey, you know what? I like your outfit. Why don't you give it a twirl," whatever. Even in that case, it makes me a little uncomfortable. But again, I think that there's just too much emphasis on what are you wearing and what do you look like, and that stuff is okay as long as you also focus on the achievements of these players.
Here's the problem, a couple of problems. One, the sports broadcasting world it's really hard to penetrate and break through with something interesting because you ask and they give very stock, uniformed answers and everything, you know. Big win, when did you know you had it? He gave 110%, what was the key moment of the match, you know. It's really, so he was trying to have fun. Now, in defense of the interviewer, and it's totally, Serena Williams responded to this.
Well, the commentator asked me to twirl. I necessarily wouldn't ask Rafa to twirl or Roger to twirl. But whether it's sexist or not, I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that.
Were you bothered when you were asked by that to do it?
I didn't really want to twirl because I just was like, I don't need all the extra attention. So, but yeah, it was fine. I don't think and look that deep into it. Life is far too short to focus on that. We have so many other problems that we want to deal with, and that we should focus on. So whether I twirl or not, it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's just all about being positive.
Okay.
Sounds like it bothered her.
She gave a super reasonable response.
Yeah, she's obviously smart.
I'm outraged.
She thinks that it is a problem, but she doesn't. She's rich and famous. She doesn't want to act like it compares to other problems, but it is still a problem.
Yeah, and also I think that she doesn't want to be caught up in some random controversy involving an interviewer asking a questionable question. But real quick, Ben, just to give you guys more context into this, look, if you just take this situation as an isolated incident, that's one thing, right? It's easy to have, kind of like a nonchalant reaction to this. But I mean, you kind of have to look at it in the context of how female tennis players are questioned during the interviews. Like last year, we did a story about a Romanian tennis player by the name of Simona Halep. And during a post-game interview, the interviewer asked her about her breast reduction, right? So the first question that the interviewer asked her was uncomfortable, but I think that you can probably give it a pass because it has to do with her performance. He asked her, as your profile rises, people find out more about you. Your breast reduction surgery was 3 or 4 years ago. Does that play any part in your success? So she answers that question. She says, yeah, it was a long time ago, my breast reduction. I'm happy for that. Now, if I have to do again for tennis, I would do, yeah, it was a good decision for me. Okay, leave it there. Leave it there. That's all you have to ask. He continues, what about outside the tennis? Which is a funny way of phrasing the question.
It's like two foreigners trying to speak English.
And
It
she
might
wrote,
have been translated.
What about your breasts? What you do with them outside of the tennis?
so she responds,
Your now little breasts outside of the tennis. How do you use them now?
she responds, sorry? And he asks, what about outside the tennis? She's like, outside the tennis, what? You said you would do it again. And she says, I don't want to say anything about this. And then she laughs, right?
Right,
So
good for her.
it's just, some of the questions are inappropriate. And I think that it's okay to call out the interviewers on
Yeah,
it.
you can't ask about the breast reduction surgery outside
Yeah.
of the tennis.
The only possible explanation is that he meant, did it solve other health problems or
No,
whatever?
no,
No,
he
he was
could have
asking
meant
about
that.
her love
That's not
life.
what
He
he
was
meant.
asking about
Yeah.
her love life.
Okay, I
Look,
guess.
I mean, it would be like, I don't know, me interviewing David Beckham and being like, hey, yo, your dick looked real big in those Calvin Klein ads. How about outside the football, right?
Right. Does your penis get in the way when you're running? What about outside soccer?
Outside
Sorry?
the soccer.
Right. What about outside of the soccer? Do you ever trip on your big penis when you're going to the store? It is just a question. Relax.
Oh my God.
But the difference is, of course, is that there is some difference between the sexes, and I think that
Yeah.
those. And the danger here is that I start talking, and instantly you run the risk of sounding like you're on
Bill O'Reilly.
red eye,
Yeah, exactly.
and that they're men's right activists who are all little punks who are gonna we're gonna be like, yeah, way to go, Ben, because I ain't on your side. But there are differences, and they're okay. Like the women pay more attention to what they're wearing, right? I mean, it seems like both Eugenia Bouchard and Victoria Azarenka thought to tweet about Serena's outfit.
Yeah.
Rafael
Whereas I would have never
Nadal
thought
is
to.
never going to tweet about Roger Federer's outfit, right? It's not going to. It just isn't going to be a thing they focus on. Guys do plenty of trivial things. This is trivial. It's not mean or anything.
Yeah.
We spend our lives doing trivial things, and we enjoy many of them. And so, if you're going to tweet about it, then I suppose it is okay for an interviewer to ask about it. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I sort of think that moment is okay. There are a lot of responses she can give, many of which she'd be heroic. She did great,
Yeah.
but if she'd said, you first, the crowd
be
would have been like,
hilarious.
oh my God, hilarious. And it would be nice if now, if now Nadal or Federer twirled.
Give a twirl,
Gave
yeah.
a little twirl after an interview, just to show